Welcome, everybody. My name is Todd Keirstead, and you are watching TK Talks, stories of inspiration both on and off the golf course. I have with me today Jonathan Snyder. Jonathan, how are you doing today, pal?
I'm doing wonderful.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit about your youth, growing up. Tell me a little bit about the young Jonathan.
Oh well, it was definitely filled with sports. First off, thanks for having me on today, Todd. I really appreciate everything you're doing to kind of shine a light on all of these successful stories that you've been sharing, and I think it's very wonderful. Getting back to my youth, growing up, it was a bit of a challenge in a sense that a lot of the kids that I hung out with, they didn't see a lot of individuals like myself that were born without a left hand. So there was some bullying and some picking on that was done, but I really found a lot of happiness in sports, and I had the ability to set a goal and then overcome it. So that really built up my strength and confidence to be able to do what I can do today.
Now, what sports did you play growing up?
It was mainly baseball and basketball especially. It was my love. And I used to work so hard on dribbling with my left side. And when we'd be out there in a game, it would shock people that I was even dribbling with that side. Yeah, basketball is definitely first love for me.
That's awesome. And how did you get into golf?
Well, it's a kind of a unique story. I was set to go to college, and my father actually had an accident where he severed 4 of his fingers on his left hand. So I had to kind of forfeit going to college and help him with rehabilitation, help run the family company. And once we were back settled and he was back into work mode again, it brought he and I really closer together because he would ask me questions all the time. How do you button your buttons with one hand? How you tie your shoes with one hand? And then it really got me to thinking, how can I help other people the same way? But then it really came down to my father asked me, well, what do you want to do now that I'm back in the saddle and you don't have to do the daily operations? And there was a golf course being built right in our area. It was called Redbridge Golf Club. And I said, I don't know, maybe I'll take up a career in golf, and maybe I'll run that golf course one day. And it wasn't 5 years to the day that I accepted a contract as the general manager of that club. And yeah, that's basically how I got into golf. I played golf a few times when I was younger, played when I was about 12 or 13 with my grandfather. And then again with a few buddies when I was 17, 18, but I almost never took it serious and never really got into the rich history of golf as I did when I was 22, when I made that decision to go work at Redbridge at the card barn for $0, just a little free golf. That's what I was interested in at the time when I started getting into it.
You know what? So hosing down golf carts, cleaning them up, giving yourself to play a little bit of golf after work, right?
Yep, that's exactly how I got deeply involved with it.
That's how quite a few of us in the industry got into it. I remember when I grew up shagging golf balls as a kid, and every lesson I shagged for, I'd get a green fee ticket, I'd go out and play. And that's how, the passion of the game really, really gets in there that way.
Yeah, same thing. I was given a little ticket after every shift that we worked.
So it's amazing how life works. You grew up probably, your dad teaching you so much about life experiences and things like that. Then at a young age for yourself, tragedy happens with your dad and a complete, 90-degree turn.
Yeah. Yeah, not only that, my family's always been very, very faith-filled. This being the week after Easter, it is a very special holiday for me and my family, and I've always leaned on my faith to help overcome a lot of challenges that happen on a daily basis.
So I'm looking over your shoulder right now, and I see a couple trophies, couple medals back there. Why don't you tell us about your history in the sport of golf and some of the accomplishments that you had?
Well, it's a little bit of a unique story on how I got involved in adaptive golf. When I was at Redbridge, I always had this strong sense that I wanted to build a golf academy basically centered around adaptive golf. And I didn't even know that that's what it was called at the time, adaptive golf. I wanted to help individuals with disabilities that were in my same situation. And then I started, doing a little research on some other one-arm golfers, and I managed to find a gentleman by the name of Alan Gentry, who's the founder of the North American One-Arm Golf Association. He invited me to an event in Myrtle Beach called the Paralong Drive, and it was hosted by Dean Jarvis, another great adaptive golf innovator. And it was there that I met Tracy Raymond, which I know you've talked to him and had a interview with him just here recently. And I think Tracy may have done a little bit of lobbying for me, but they had a couple of individuals drop off the United States pair golf team, and they were getting ready to do an exhibition in New York at Maidstone. So he talked to the individual that was running the U.S. pair golf team and said, "Hey, I got a guy that I really think we could add to our exhibition team." So I ended up being, kind of selected to the U.S. pair golf team, and it was there where I met E.Q. Sylvester, who's the founder of Freedom Golf Association, as well as the USAGA. And he offered me the opportunity to work for an adaptive golf organization called Freedom Golf Association here in Chicago. And he gave me the opportunity to kind of build the program, and built it. I did. I really hit the ground running and tried to find out the best way that we could reach out to all these individuals with disabilities kind of in a controlled environment. So we were then able to present our opportunities to schools, and we provide 6-week programs in their adaptive PE classes, and really gets down to it at a young age, introducing them to the game of golf. From there, we try and get them to come out to our driving range clinics and put some standard equipment in their hands. And then from there, we try and get them out on the course and really teach them some golf etiquette and some things about the game.
So this now is not only your passion, but it's also your career now.
Yeah.
You've taken this and run with it full bore. Congratulations on that. You're affecting a lot of people and changing a lot of lives.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned all of the hardware that you're seeing over there, and I've actually gained all that in just the last 2 years of competition. I've had the ability to, actually the blessing to come across so many great adaptive golf organizations in this country. And a lot of them provide opportunities to compete. I'll never forget my first event in 2018 was at the North American One-Arm Golf Association. And this was actually the first time that they had opened up their doors to individuals other than just one-arm guys. I mean, there was individuals with prosthetic legs, individuals with cerebral palsy playing in that event. And that's really opened up this whole adaptive competition world to where now the USGA and the RNA and working with individuals like Tracy have created the world rankings for golfers with disabilities. And I'm so excited to see where adaptive golf is going to go, especially on a competition basis here in the future. I mean, it's amazing, from not only the competition standpoint, but also the instructional standpoint, and then even the training. I know you and I both have a friend in the name of Dave Windsor. He's been very instrumental in being a mentor to me as far as some of the best practices and some of the best training methods on how to train your coaches to work with individuals with disabilities.
No, it's amazing to see where the sport is going. Especially with the world rankings, it's turning into, quite the opportunity to showcase people that just want to play the game of golf again, that never thought they had the opportunity.
Definitely. And one thing a lot of my participants love is they usually know when I'm going to go away for a competition, because I'm not at a Friday clinic. They're like, oh, he must be going to a thing. They always expect for me to kind of bring back some hardware to show all the participants that I still got it. So I actually picked up my first state win in Iowa in 2019. It was the Iowa Amputee Golf Association State Championship. I shot a 69 on the final round.
Wow.
Birdie on the last to win by 1 stroke. So there was some competition there. And most recently, I won the first world ranking event in the United States of the year, and that was the North American One Arm Golf Association Winter Regional. We had it down at Mission Inn Resort, and again, I know you know Jesse Florikowski up there from Canada. He's always some tough competition, and this is actually the first time I was able to shoot a better score than he did. So I love Jesse, but he always challenges me for shooting a low score out there. So.
Well, you know what? It's always good to have that competitive back and forth at it. So that's what keeps you sharp. So, and that's what's keeping Jesse sharp. So it's awesome to see. So what's in the future for Jonathan right now?
Well, right now, I actually had a very heavily planned competition schedule for this year. As you know, a lot of competitions are being canceled or postponed, rescheduled. So all of the competition part is pretty much still up in the air. As far as instructional standpoint, we're going to continue to do what we're doing, but we have to follow exactly what local and state guidelines are going to be for our school clinics. But other than that, as soon as the golf courses open back up, our clinics will be right back rolling again. One thing that I'm really proud about is I was selected as the vice captain to the Cairns Cup team alongside John Bell. Tracy Raymond is the captain. And I can't say enough about those two individuals because it goes a little further than golf sometimes with our group, you know. There's a lot of camaraderie. And while those two guys really helped me get through a tough part of my life last year, I lost my mother. And those two guys were really there for me to lean on. And that's one of the beauties about our competitions and our sport is when we all come together, we're a big adaptive family, you know.
It is. It's a brotherhood. It really, really is. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is what TK Talks is all about, sharing inspirational stories both on and off the golf course. And today I want to thank Jonathan. Jonathan, it was a pleasure having you on today, my friend.
Oh, I can't thank you enough to continuing to shed the spotlight on all these great individuals with all their great abilities. I've really enjoyed watching the stories.